Happy Sunday. Welcome back. My name is Sarana. Those of you who are new here, those of you who are returning, welcome back. Well, when I pop out the camera on a Sunday, it's because it's treat day. So I'm treating myself to some maple pecan oats scones. I prepped it last night and baked it fresh this morning. So just imagine the aroma coming from this kitchen. Your girl have to work today, so no church today. And church is pretty much, they have church at a different location. They have a convention and it's on the north of the island, so I'm not traveling out that far today. So I'm popping in to say hello, and we will talk a little bit later. I need to do some meal prep. I have not gotten vegetables to do my juicing, and I need to get my life in order this week. Last week was just crazy. There was so much things that I had to get done, and it was just I was just all over the place. So this week I want to get things sorted out in terms of my meals. But I ate good. I ate really good last week, but I did not have variety of food. I just had like the squash, the chicken, and I was a bit lazy in terms of cooking last week. So to this week I really want to bump things up and have a few more dishes, and probably need to bake a sourdough bread because I have no bread. So I should take out my sourdough starter, feed it, and then probably get a loaf in the oven. Well, it's going to be baked tomorrow morning anyways. So that's what's up. Listen, my workout last week was crazy. Yesterday I did my last workout for the week. Trust me, I feel amazing. It was not heavy lifting, but it was what they call progressive overload, and trust me, I maxed out. I felt really proud of myself. I'm feeling stronger. I'm seeing a difference. The scale keeps going down. I'm still losing little weight, even though I'm not on a deficit. I am eating in maintenance, but I'm still seeing the numbers dropping. It's a good thing, it's a bad thing, I don't know, but I'm feeling great. This week, coming up, I really want to get, at the beginning of the year, I like to do my blood work to see where I'm at. And I highly recommend that, especially if you embarking on a fitness journey. Know your stats, know where you are. So I want to do that before the month ends. So maybe this week I will just go and get some blood work done and just see what I'm rolling with. So I will talk to you a little bit later. I'm gonna sit, enjoy my coffee, of course. I just love that moment where I could just enjoy my scones, get my caffeine in, and just relax. So I'll talk to you a little bit later. Hey friends, but it's later on in the day. I finally get a little chance to come and chit chat. Today, I went out for a walk after work. It was really hot. It was like about 12:30 in the day, but I had on my sunscreen, the usual, and I went for a nice hot girl walk. Nature was just giving. It was just beautiful. The blooms, amazing blooms. I think I took a few pictures, video while I was walking. I think I'm going to include in this vlog. It was just therapeutic outside. So imagine, after giving a beautiful treatment to my client, I got my therapy by going out and get my walk. So I managed to get over 10,000 steps today because the sun it did not bother me one bit. I went out to do me and I just enjoy whatever nature gave to me. I had intentions of going to the groceries after my walk. Lo and behold, I forgot my purse, my checkbook, my card, everything at home. And I'm like, you know what? Forget it. So I'm thinking, oh, what am I gonna go home and eat? But I did some fried fish tuna yesterday, and I just put together some basmati rice. I had some leftover coleslaw that I made yesterday as well. So I just put that together and had myself a meal. I'll post it in the, and I had some little cherry tomatoes. I cut it up and did some Creole fish, and that was my lunch. I This morning I kind of pig out a bit with the scones. I had about 3 scones because I ate the scones so fast. It was so good. And I ate it down so fast, and I had so much coffee left back in my cup, and I'm like, I still feel to nibble on it. I just had my scones. I'm like, the hell with it. I have 3 scones this morning. And so I did not do, I wasn't hungry after that, so I just had my meal about after 3 this afternoon, and I drank water and my electrolytes with, in the water and so on. So that was good for me. This evening I made a list, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to the groceries and pick up everything that I need. The kids, all 3 of them, just find their seat in the car, and in the groceries it's crazy because they're running all over the supermarket, and I'm like trying to keep them together. So it's like I cannot focus on my list. I had to pick up some stuff for my toddler for school for the week. I just did that. And the funny thing about the groceries is like some of it you have to go different. I bargain. I am all about saving my coins and spending wise. So I, in order to, I go for the deals. Some supermarket, you get things a little bit cheaper, and so I try to go to all the different supermarket and so on. So I got, like my half and half and some milk and stuff because I need to make some yogurt. The kids, you know, that yogurt that I made, all done. So I need to make some yogurt. So I got some milk to do so, and I have to make some granola and so on, and some overnight oats and so I got some oats and just few little stuff I was able to get on in that supermarket, and an avocado, some lean turkey bacon and so on. I like to have options for my breakfast. My breakfast is the most important meal for me. So I got that. And I really need to do some form of meal prepping because my schedule is so busy with work, and that's a good thing, bless God. And so I really want to make sure that I have food there, because sometimes when you come from work, when I come from work, I'm so tired. I really don't, but there's nothing that is bad in the house because I keep really good food, but the chances of me not eating, sometimes if I feel like I have to go and prepare something and all of that, it's like I probably might just not eat. So that is something that I really want to be careful with. I don't want to skip my meals. Yeah, so that's it. A little rundown of my day and so on. So it was good overall. But something I really want to talk about, and I never, I made a video several times, and I basically deleted it because I felt like certain topic needed its own space, you know? And I really don't want to have this channel only about weight loss. I want to be versatile with my channel, share different things. But as a new content creator, in order to get, my message and really find my niche on this platform, I really have to kind of help YouTube to find an audience for me. So basically, I have to kind of speak about certain things until I, develop my community. So, but something that I really need to talk about is loose skin, because I spoke to a few people and they have size, some of them morbidly obese, some of them is just, on the little bit obese or overweight. And something that they're fearful of is loose skin. They always like, oh my God, I was so big, and those of them who are big, I'm scared about the loose skin, and so on. And I must say that I am blessed, because when I lost weight originally, I was in my 20s. When I lost 156 pounds, I was in my 20s. I was like 28 years old. And I did it weight loss prior to that. I messed up big time. Yesterday, a girlfriend and I, my childhood friend, she and I was talking for a very long time. And I was reminding her, stop drinking water, and I lost all the weight. That's a whole other topic, so I will get into that. And so, yeah, those was bad weight loss, programs that I went on. But when I lost 156 pounds, that's the biggest I was ever in my whole entire life. I was 315 or 300, who knows, maybe 20, 25, who knows. When I was that weight and I lost the weight, I did it right. I did it the right way. And fortunately, I did not end up with much loose skin. I do have loose skin, but it's not as extreme like you see other people who lose weight, like they're, a lot of skin. So it's something that you can't really get away from. You need to make a decision. It's either you want to be healthy and forget about the aesthetic look, it's all about getting healthy. And once you get to that point, the other things will work itself out. I At first, something that I was conscious of is my arms, because I felt like my arms was not toned enough. I have the loose skin in my arms and so on. And I used to feel a hole before. I used to feel like, I want to do surgery. I saw, I researched it, that, maybe to cut out, little skin just to get that definition and so on. And I remember looking through it, and then I spoke to my husband about it, and he was like, no. He said, nothing is wrong with you. And he said, what is wrong? He said, sometimes you see yourself, you seeing things that is not there, things that is not really important. He said, look at you, look how amazing you look, and I had to see myself like that, because this is what they call body dysmorphia. This is something is that you want to lose weight, you reach where you're at, and you're finding fault with everything. And it's like you're seeing things that it's like it's not as extreme as how you look at it. Because when I look at I don't like to compare myself to anybody, but when I look at people who have been my size and so on, and I see the amount of loose skin that they have, and I'm like, oh, you querying, you fussing over a little loose skin in your arm. You understand? You're not comparing yourself, but you're like, the things that we stress about, the things that we focus about is not that important. It's all about getting healthy. You want to look good, you want to lose the weight, yes, and you want to feel good, you want to feel confident after losing the weight. But at the end of the day, trust me, getting healthier, being in the best shape of your life, that is more important. Knowing that you're healthy, you're energetic, and so on. Yes, you want to look good, but just let your focus be about getting rid of that excess weight that you're carrying, right? The rest will work itself out. And something I must say, once you're eating properly, like for example, you're incorporating a lot of protein, and I must say genetic played a role because my family have good skin. So genetic played an important part in me not getting extreme loose skin, right? But remember, your skin stretch. You've been carrying a lot of weight. Your skin was stretching. It's like, just picture a balloon, or when you put water in a balloon, how it just stretch, it gets big, right? And it's stretchy. So that is the same thing. Your skin happens to your skin. It carrying a lot of fat, fluid, all of that. So of course it's going to be stretching. So it's either you accept the loose skin that may come, or you stay big, you stay. Which one? I will definitely choose the loose skin any day over being morbidly obese, because it's not that bad, and there is things you can do. If you're really not comfortable with it, you can do surgery, you can have it removed. For me personally, that's something that I would not do. I was considering it. Trust me, I was considering it, like, oh, go in and do surgery to just tighten up. And I saw surgeries where you can actually, in my case, that I did not have so much, that I could just do like probably a suction thing. But then again, no, it's like you still have to go do the anesthesia and whatever and all of that. And I'm like, you know what? It's not that bad. And because I decided to just, not bother with it, and I just start doing a lot of strength training, I saw a lot of change. I saw so much definition, so much muscles in my arms that I did not even think it was possible to build. And then, so it decreased the loose skin has decreased a lot, by, when I originally what I was dealing with. So people normally will say the only option you have is surgery. No, it's not the only option. I believe you will never get back your skin 100% to how it was unless you do surgery, yes, but you can get a lot of definition, you can build a lot of lean muscles. And if it's about the look for you, of course we want to look good, we want to feel confident when we put on clothes and so on. So I always say do what floats your boat. But me personally, I don't need it, and I would not put myself through that, because the scarring can be ugly. I could develop keloids and all these things, I don't want to put myself through that. It's not necessary. I could live with what I got. So, but don't let that prevent you from making a change in your life, because think about it. You're lowering the risk of diabetes. You're lowering the risk, high blood pressure, heart disease. So much things you lowering the risk by you losing that excess weight. And I really don't want people to think that, okay, it's like I'm trying to sell skinny. I am not trying to sell skinny. I'm trying to sell health, because the things that I know now, I wish I had known back then, because people around me who I'm relatively close to, who is morbidly obese or was morbidly obese, the issues they face in terms of illnesses, things they're battling with, and it's really sad. And I'm like, if I can share my journey to help somebody or to encourage somebody, you know what, don't walk around or don't pretend to be, you're so confident in your being big. Being big there's no confidence there. You understand that? As much as you try to sell it, there is no confidence there. You understand? Because being morbidly obese, there is a lot of limitation. You're limited from doing a lot of things. You may have to try about 5 different outfits to make sure that you look good, and that is a frustration for itself. You can't stand for long period. You can, if you're in danger, you cannot run to save your life. So don't try to sell this thing about being confident in your body and all of that and being plus size. There is no confidence there. Don't try to make yourself feel good about it. I sit down one day and I had a conversation not too long ago, and I was playing back things in my head about, with me, with my weight and thing. And I asked myself, were you really confident in, back then? And to answer that honestly, actually, I was not. I was not. I think my confidence level went up when I lost the weight. Because things that I was able to do when I lost the weight, I was not able to do it back then. And I would change about 5 different outfits, before I go out. So, sometimes you have to ask yourself, because I used to sell this thing confident on at any size. And the reality is I was not. Because, just playing back things in your head, I was not. I started to gain confidence when I lost the weight, because I would dress and I would look in the mirror and I know I look good, I feel good, and I could just go out without having to fidget or having to pull this or pull on this or whatever the case may be. I was confident when I lost the weight, not before that. So when we try to sell this gimmick about, being confident at any size and whatnot, that is just, we ain't fooling nobody. So going back to that with the loose skin thing, focus on getting healthier. Focus on being the best version of yourself. You understand? Forget about the loose skin. Forget about the loose skin. Trust me, it's not that important. There is a lot of things that you can do if you really want to get rid of it, if you get loose skin. And sometimes, because trust me, sometimes you have the fear in your head and it's not as you think it would be. Because trust me, I was scared. I never had a big stomach. Even though I gained a lot of weight, my stomach was never this big stomach. My stomach only stretched basically through pregnancy. But even though I was 315, 20, whatever pounds, I never really had a big stomach. And so the only thing is my arms, I got my mom arms. My mother had these arms, these big arms, the Ross arms, the thick people, they have big arms, but never had like big stomach and stuff. We had thick thighs and so on, and I still have my thick thighs, but that's the only thing in my family. So we have big arms and so on. But don't worry about it, because it's not that bad. It's not, a lot of people like thought, even my husband was telling me all the time, he said he can't believe I had that amount of weight. He said, when I showed him pictures and I told him, conversation when we now met and thing, I said I was 315 pounds and thing. He was like, no way, and so on. And even when I lost this weight after the pregnancy, and he was like, I like how you're losing the weight. You're just losing the weight slow and steady, and then you're building the muscles. You say you're not looking miserable. You're just looking, nice. And that is what I wanted. And I believe the intermittent fasting helped with that, because it was not, when you try to lose weight too fast, I believe that's when you get a lot of loose skin. Because when I got loose skin in my arm, that was as me losing weight back then as a teenager. When I lost 156 pounds, I did not get this loose skin. The only time I got loose skin, the only loose skin I got in my arms was back then when I lost weight. I was like about 16. I will share that story. And I stopped drinking water and I wasn't really eating at all. That was a bad thing. I was just 200 and how much pounds? I was 224 pounds that time. And I was 14 years and 224 pounds. And I went down to 65 or 45 pounds. I think it's 145 pounds I went down to. So that was back then as a child. And that was the only drastic weight loss I did. And that is when I got some loose skin. But my other weight loss journey, nothing from it. You understand? Because I lost the weight the right way. So it's all about losing weight slow, and make sure you're incorporating the right food. So I highly recommend protein, lots of protein with every meal. Make sure to aim for a good amount of protein. If you have to do high protein, low carbs, better you do it, because trust me, back then when I was young, I was 14 years. If I had that knowledge, I would not have had no loose skin whatsoever. None. Because from the last 2 journeys with weight loss and seeing how I lost the weight and was really, even though I said I felt soft, but I was soft but not with no set of drooping skin and all of that. And I thank God that I did it the proper way. So I'm encouraging you, first of all, don't worry much about it. Don't worry much about it. Just make sure you do a good program, that go in a calorie deficit, drink your water. Don't look for drastic weight loss. Don't try no quick fixes. Take your time. Even though you lose 2 pounds in a month, take it as a victory. You understand? Because what you're doing, it's slow, it's steady, and it's the right way. Incorporate lots of protein, drink your water, make sure you have a lot of fiber in your diet. Go in a calorie deficit, not a drastic calorie deficit. Drop your calories like down to probably 150, less than your daily caloric intake. As I said, there's a lot of things on the internet, like the TDEE calculator. Use it to know. It gives you, it's sort of accurate. You understand? That's close to accurate, but at least it's a guide to know where you are. Don't go on these detoxes. I don't believe in these detoxes and this liquid diet and this egg diet and all this crap. I believe you go in a calorie deficit, and I believe in intermittent fasting, because intermittent fasting, when you do it, it does something. Your body goes through, it's a thing your body goes through, autophagy something. I will get a name and I will link it. When it goes through that, it said it helps to reduce chances of loose skin and so on. So they say, right? I'm not a doctor, but I believe it, because this weight loss journey that I went on, as I said, no loose skin, none. You understand? Any loose skin that I had when I was 14 years old, nothing when I lost 156 pounds, nothing from me losing 70 pounds. So I know I was doing it the right way, because as I said, when I lost 156 pounds, was just walking, right? Nothing strenuous, and it took me 2 years to lose it. I notice a lot of people, when they see lose 40 pounds in in 3 weeks. They jump for these kind of things, but I'm telling you, it's not the right way to go. Don't be fooled by that, because you're doing only harm to your body. Your body didn't gain that weight overnight. You didn't just get up and gain 315 pounds in one night or 1 week, right? So give yourself time to lose it the proper way. Incorporate your protein, drink your water, your juices, get good nutrition in, right? And then you work out. If you're morbidly obese and you really cannot do much strength training as yet, just do walking. Even though it's 15 minutes, just walk. 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening. That's what you could able to do. Just do it. If you could able to do it around the house, just do it. If you could put on your television and just walk in place with a video, just do it. Do some kind of form of movement, keep moving, and incorporate a lot of protein in your diet, and fiber. Fiber is important as well. And I promise you, you will see a change. It may not be as rapid as you would like, but it's going to be healthy weight loss, and you will lower the chances of you having excess skin. So, and then again, if you think about it, I want you to really think about it. Think about it. What is more important? Losing the weight, getting rid of all the excess weight that is weighing you down mentally, physically, emotionally, or worrying about loose skin. You understand? If somebody had to love you, they will love you. If they truly love you, they have to love you they have to love the heart first, right? And then, yeah, the body attracts, yeah, we know that, people drawn to you by they look at your physique and they're drawn to you. But somebody who truly love you, and if that is what you're fearful about, if they only focus on the physical, just run. They're supposed to focus, get to know the person, the individual, and fall in love with your spirit, fall in love with the soul. And I'm not here to talk about love and all of that, but I mean, a lot of people is like, have this whole physical thing, like probably they wouldn't get somebody to love them or whatever the case may be. I think that is low self-esteem, and we have to rise above that, right? Losing the weight is going to boost your confidence. It's going to boost your confidence. You're going to feel amazing. You're going to add years to your life, and that is what's important. So, start your journey. Don't worry about loose skin. You understand? Don't worry about it. Once you get there, and don't look at a number, just think about how you're going to feel while you're losing the weight, the energy, the confidence. Just think about the positive things. Don't worry about the loose skin. It's not that serious. Look at Oprah. And I always look at Oprah, always admire Oprah. Oprah lost a ton of weight. And Oprah had loose skin in her arm. So I used to look at the jiggle in her arm. As I tell you, I'm looking at Oprah for years. And I used to be like, why is she go and cut that out? She has so much money. Why she get rid of that jiggle? And then I stopped to think about it. I said, it's not about the aesthetic look for her. She looks amazing. She dresses sexy. And she's unbothered by it. She can do it. She can cut that skin out in a minute because she has the money for it. And she can get the best doctors, the best plastic surgeons. She never did. And that is something that I always admire about Oprah. Oprah was more about, being healthy, able to do things like when she lost the weight, she wanted to do a marathon. These are things that she, goals that she had set for herself. And it was never about the aesthetic for her. It was about feeling good. Everything she promotes is about feeling good, energy, and so on. And that was something that stood out for me. And even recently, as I mentioned, I spoke about it. One day I woke up and I kind of felt a little bit depressed, not with me, but it's like I felt depressed with me putting out contents, and I'm like, should I speak about weight loss? Should I speak about that? And then I just saw a video with her again, and it reminded me how much, she motivated me. She kept me going when I was battling my weight back then. Looking at her, she gained, she lost, and that was a motivation for me. And that made me realize in the moment that, you know what, even though it's one person, speak about it, continue to record your video, continue to talk about your journey, continue to share your story, because I have a lot of stories to share. There's so much things. I promise you it wouldn't be about weight loss alone, because there's so much things. I just trying to get all the information out, because there's a lot of people who they need the support, and if I could lend that support, by all means. So my friends, I have to roll out a sourdough bread. A client called for a bread today, so I need to shape it and put it in the fridge to proof overnight, and probably just take a shower. Not probably, I need to take a shower. I went out to the supermarket, so take a shower and just kind of kick back the rest of the evening, because I have been going, and I need to take a little break now. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a impromptu video just the same, but it's something that I really needed to talk about, because a lot of people fearful of starting a weight loss journey because they're fearful of getting loose skin. And honestly, it's not that it's not as bad as you think. And even though you get a little loose skin, what's the big deal? If you want to cut it off and you don't mind getting the scars and whatnot, why not do it? So there is a lot of things that you can do, if you really not happy about it. But just lose the weight first, get healthier, gain your confidence, and live your best beautiful life. So friends, thank you so much for watching, and I promise you I would not take too long to drop a next video. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you soon.